Are you ready for some fun under the sea?
Under the sea.
Wish I could be. Yeah. All right. As you know by now, Disney is translating its animated classic, The Little Mermaid, to live action.
We've been waiting for this one. In a News 2 review, film critic Manning Franks dives into the retelling to see how it stacks up to the original.
It was only a matter of time before Disney returned to Ariel and Atlantica. So, one of the most popular animated films, let's see how Walt Disney brought this version to life. Come with me back under the sea as we travel to Disney's The Little Mermaid. And no, not the animated one. The new live-action retelling coming out this week. As we know, Disney has a habit of remaking their animated catalog, and up next on the docket was Ariel herself. With my, shall we say, lukewarm reception to Disney's live-action remakes, I was curious on how that they would translate this to the big screen for live action. And well, they tried?
You went to the above world.
A man was drowning. I had to save him.
This obsession with humans has to stop.
I just want to know more about them.
Ariel, don't!
A retelling of the 1989 film The Little Mermaid continues Disney's live-action trend of updating their animated classics. Halle Bailey stars as the free-spirited mermaid Ariel, who longs for adventure of the surface world when she falls for the human Prince Eric. With a desire to follow her heart, Ariel makes a deadly deal with Ursula the Sea Witch in hopes she can be where the people are. Right out of the gate, or I guess in this case, right out of the sea, the biggest difference between the animated classic and its live-action counterpart is that the visuals are dull and lifeless by comparison. You will always inherently lose some vibrancy when you translate anything from animated to real life. They're just different mediums. But the visuals, and honestly most of the story, invite far too much similarity to its better animated predecessor, meaning musical numbers like Under the Sea fall flat to the ocean floor. The story succeeds the most when it deviates from the original and, like Ariel herself, sets its own path. There is some expansion to the romance and to the surface world, though, that really makes that section pop. Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy in particular are two absolute standouts. Bailey, with a powerhouse of a voice, makes Ariel her own and truly has a bright cinematic future. McCarthy, conversely, really leans into the signature gaudiness of Ursula as we know her, which results in her being an unsurprising scene stealer. While never reaching the highs of the original, this version of The Little Mermaid still has some finny fun when it tries to deviate from the original and make its own unique voice. That's my hope for the live-action remakes going forward from Disney. Different doesn't equal bad. But who knows? Maybe this version you will want to be a part of your world, just like the animated one. I'm giving the 2023 The Little Mermaid a for you to decide. You can watch it only in theaters. Only in theaters, y'all.
I would have to see it though, but I'm like you. I'm kind of lukewarm on the live action remakes. I don't know if they really hold up, but I love the soundtrack to this.
Well, that's a consistent, no matter where you're from. Even you were singing, you haven't seen many Disney films at all. You knew what Under the Sea was.
But I grew up on that movie too.
Exactly.
So that
Okay, yeah. So you have seen Little Mermaid, the original one then?
probably 100 times.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
I love it.
So I'm curious at what your thought is if you decide to go see this one. Of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, I'm definitely interested in it, and there's been so much hype.
Much talk.
Forget about the controversy. So much hype around this movie for months that like you have to see it, right?
Even like when we first found out who was going to be casted as Ariel, everybody's been talking about it. So I definitely want to go out and see it. And I love Disney. I feel like I'm going to love it regardless because I like the storyline.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see it come to life. So we were talking about Flounder and Sebastian. Kind of give your thoughts about how that was depicted in this
the
movie.
visuals, the problem when you do a hyper-realistic or when you move from animated to live action, as I was saying, it's always a little bit weird. Wow, my collar is really weird in over here. You all see that right there? Hi, everybody.
Stop looking at
I
that.
couldn't, but at the same time, as I was saying, it always looks weird when you translate the medium of live action to animated. It doesn't always translate well, and in this case, it didn't do it justice, I feel like. The animation loses a little bit of life, you know,
Who's
with
the
live action.
Who's your favorite actor
Actor,
or
Melissa
actress.
McCarthy and Halle Bailey, as I was saying, steal the show.
Okay.
She has a powerhouse voice, obviously.
Great
and
voice.
it steals part of your world to where Jodie Benson, who did the original Ariel, come on, they're like neck and neck on who did it better. I won't say what though, but Melissa McCarthy was also really surprisingly good. Really good.
You know what I would love to see is Disney do character movies for like, I don't even know what the term is, but like just following Ursula and doing a
spin-off.
Oh, like a spin-off, like Cruella DeVille.
Yeah,
like those kind of.
I liked Cruella.
Cruella was.
I liked that
I've talked
one.
about it on this
Yeah.
show. That was probably one of the best
That's
Disney
fun.
movies that
So good.
recently came out. That's a
All
good
right,
one.
we'll let them decide though,
Yes,
right, man?
that's for you to decide.